Are you ready to be scared? I'm continuing my countdown of the 25 greatest horror adaptations of excellent literature. Today, the terrifying 11 through 15. So, this is the third of my series here on Fantasy for the Ages as I'm counting down or up the top 25 horror adaptations of all time. These are all based on books, novellas, short stories, comics, different sources of literature that were turned into excellent, frightening movie or TV adaptations. Be sure to go back and check out my first two episodes here because I'm right in the middle of the list now. But good news, that means these are some pretty scary things to consider watching and perhaps first going back and reading. But I leave that to you. Figure out what you want to do with your time. I think these are all excellent, great things to watch, and I'm happy to share them with you today. I count from the bottom up, so I'll be starting with number 15 today. But before I jump into it, consider giving us a like. We sure appreciate that. And if you haven't subscribed to Fantasy for the Ages yet, my son Zach and I, who bring all these to you, would love to have you join our crowd. And if you hit that notification bell, you won't miss the other episodes that come out as I finish this series over the next couple of days. All right, let's do this. Number 15 for today is 1408, the 2007 movie that is based on the 1999 short story publication by Stephen King, also called 1408. This is about a skeptical author who debunks supernatural occurrences. That's his shtick. So he checks into the notoriously haunted room 1408 in a New York City hotel, ready to prove this a hoax as well. But he ends up experiencing horrifying and mind bending events. The room brings his worst nightmares to life. Its psychological horror and relentless tension, combined with strong performances by John Cusack and Samuel L. Jackson, make this a haunting film that plays with perception and reality. This is one skeptic that bit off more than he could chew. And man, come on, Samuel L. Jackson, I'll take any movie that he's in. Number 14 on this list is 30 Days of Night, the 2007 movie that is an adaptation of a 2002 comic series of the same title, written by Steve Niles and Ben Temple-Smith. This is about a small town in Alaska that plunges into total darkness for 30 days. Now, that's a natural thing. I lived in Alaska. You go far enough north, this happens. And this is way up on the north coast of Alaska. Well, when you have 30 days of darkness, that's prime territory for vampires. And that's what we see in this movie, a group of vicious vampires that move in and have a field day. The townspeople must survive the bloodthirsty creatures until daylight returns. The unique setting and the concept of eternal night, along with brutal, fast paced vampire action, sets this film apart from traditional vampire stories. You might think you've seen vampire stories, but if you haven't seen this one, you're missing out. Number 13, Cujo, the 1983 film adaptation of the book Cujo by Stephen King, which came out in 1981. A friendly Saint Bernard, an adorable dog, Cujo, contracts rabies and becomes a ferocious killer, trapping a mother and her son in their car during a heat wave. The tension rises as they battle for survival, and it becomes increasingly desperate because, well, what happens when you're trapped in a car on a hot sunny day? Yeah, it gets pretty bad. The claustrophobic setting and the primal terror of this movie, where you've got these people facing their once loving pet turned monstrous, man, it elevates this into an intense thriller. If you're a dog lover, you might want to stay away from this one, but it's a heck of a movie and a great book. Number 12, The Ritual, the 2017 film that is an adaptation of The Ritual by Adam Neville, which came out in 2011. Four friends on a hiking trip through the Swedish wilderness. That sounds wonderful, doesn't it? Except they become trapped in a forest haunted by a supernatural entity. As they struggle to escape, they are forced to confront their darkest fears and this creature that's stalking them. The film's blend of psychological horror with Norse mythology and the unsettling atmosphere of isolation make this film a standout folk horror entry. Number 11, my last film for today, Salem's Lot, the 1979 movie adaptation of Stephen King's book by the same name, which came out in 1975. A writer returns to his hometown only to find it overrun by vampires, led by the sinister Mr. Barlow. As the town succumbs to evil, a few residents must fight to survive. Its chilling portrayal of a small town falling prey to an ancient evil, combined with well executed tension, makes this a quintessential vampire horror film. And that's where I'll leave you today. Be sure to come back as I keep going. We've got 10 more films that just keep amping up the tension and horror, and I look forward to revealing them to you. If you enjoyed this today, again, don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks for watching. We'll talk to you next time.